Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the second Immigrant Justice Summit put on by CC and Bellingham Unitarian Fellowship and Cascadia. Today, I just want to thank profusely the Bellingham Unitarian Fellowship for allowing us to use their space, this wonderful sanctuary for our panel, and then downstairs for lunch and for the afternoon activities that we're going to have regarding what we can do to move forward. I'm going to have Rosalinda Gillian, Executive Director of CDC now, talk about what we're doing with the summit this year, and then she will introduce Hannah Stone.
Thank you very much, Caroline. I'd also like to thank Caroline for all her leadership in community-to-community and developing the Immigrant Justice Committee and all the work she's done reaching out to the community. And the co-sponsors, like Caroline said, is the Bellingham Unitarian Church, the Cascadia Conference, and also the Skagit Immigrant Rights Council. We'd like to thank them for their generous donation to help buy our delicious meal we're going to have today. And I'd also just want to start today by, I was sitting here, you always walk in and you have all these ideas of what you're going to say, but I was looking at this banner, and I don't know how many of you were around in 2006 when they had the raid at the laundry here in Bellingham. And this banner was created for the vigil that we had the very next day, and we were joined by some of the mothers, the women that were detained that had nowhere to reach out to try to figure out what to do with their lives after that horrible raid. So this banner has been through many vigils since that time, to the detention center, to a lot of the marches that we've had here in Whatcom County, to our events. So it's seen a lot of community building, I'd like to say, in Whatcom County. And I think that is a reason that we decided to have the summit this year, to have it be a summit of bringing community leaders together and really try to look at what are some of the next actions that we want to take together. And how do we develop a process where we can all inform ourselves and then gather and then make some decisions on what it is that we're going to do next. Because this was 2006, it's 2011, next year is an election year, and we are still talking about the same issues that we were talking about since that raid in 2006. So we have challenges ahead of us, and the only way to meet challenges like that are to be together, I really believe, and to be in unity. So for that, we have asked Elizabeth Jennings, who is an amazing facilitator, to lead us through a process today in an objective way to try to come to some consensus built action. And to get to that point, we wanted to inform ourselves from some very knowledgeable people in our community. Some, we've seen and heard from these folks before. And even during that raid, Hannah Stone was available and ready and willing to support immigrant families, and she's continued that struggle. So this whole conference is about us being together and recognizing this path that we've all been on together for quite a while now, and that this path continues. And so we're counting on you to listen to the information that these amazing panelists are going to give us, and then come together afterwards to take that information and see what is the action that we're going to take together, what are the decisions that we're going to make and move forward together. And we've asked Hannah Stone, an immigration lawyer who, like I said, has been involved, so she's very knowledgeable of what's happened, to lead this moderated discussion.
Thanks, Rosalinda. Good morning, everybody. First, I want to thank, again, everybody for coming out. We have an amazing panel with us this morning, and I want to take just a minute before we get started with the questions to introduce our panelists. So I'm going to start at my left, and as you're looking at the panel on your far left, with Sheriff Bill Elfo. Sheriff Bill Elfo is proud to lead the dedicated men and women that serve with the Whatcom County Sheriff's Office. Following 29 years of increasingly responsible law enforcement experience, that included service as a chief of police and prosecutor. He was elected to the office of sheriff in 2003 and 2007. Sheriff Elfo holds Bachelor of Science and Master of Science degrees in criminal justice and a Juris Doctorate. He graduated with a number of nationally recognized law enforcement and corrections training programs that include the University of Louisville's Southern Police Institute Administrative Officers Course, the FBI National Law Institute, the FBI Command College, and the United States Department of Justice's National Sheriff's Institute. He has successfully completed thousands of hours of public management, legal and law enforcement training. He has served as a police academy instructor and an adjunct professor of criminal justice and legal studies at several colleges and universities. Sheriff Elfo serves on the executive board of the Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs. He's the past president of the Washington State Sheriff's Association, the past chair of the Whatcom County Police Chiefs and Sheriff Association, a life member of the International Association of Chiefs of Police, a member of the National Sheriff's Association, and the Washington Association of County Officials. A member of the Washington State Bar, he's licensed to practice law in Washington and several other jurisdictions. Working to improve the criminal justice, homeland security, and mental health systems, Sheriff Elfo has testified before the Congress of the United States and the Washington State legislators. Sheriff Elfo holds an appointment from Governor Christine Gregoire as a commissioner of the Criminal Justice Training Commission and as a member of the Governor's Organized Crime Advisory Board. He was appointed by Attorney General Rob McKenna to serve as chair of the Criminal Law and Sentencing Committee of the Attorney General's Methamphetamine Task Force. Sheriff Elfo is the recipient of numerous awards that include the Boys and Girls Club's National Service to Youth Award, the American Legion Man of the Year Award, the Whatcom County Association of Realtors Citizen of the Year Award, the Bellingham Whatcom Humane Society's Wolf and Whiskers Award, the Alzheimer's Societies of Washington Ken King County Community Service Award, and the Washington State Military Department Federal Bureau of Investigation Joint Award for service to the 2010 Olympic Security Committee. Here locally, Sheriff Elfo is active in the community and serves on the Bellingham Whatcom County Commission Against Domestic Violence, the Whatcom County Law and Justice Council, the Whatcom County Chemical Dependency Mental Health Fund Oversight Advisory Committee, the Americans with Disabilities Advisory Committee, the Whatcom Community College Law and Justice Advisory Committee, the Board of Directors of Bridget Collins, and the Corporate Board of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Whatcom County. For those of you who didn't know all of this about Sheriff Elfo previously, he is much more than just our sheriff here in Whatcom County. So please help me in welcoming him here today. And so to his left, we have with us Margaret Stock. Likewise, she has a long list of credentials. She has her Bachelor's of Arts from Harvard Radcliffe, her Master's in Public Administration from Harvard Kennedy School, her Juris Doctorate from Harvard Law School, and a Master of Strategic Studies with the Army War College. Margaret Stock is an adjunct faculty member in the Department of Political Science at the University of Alaska, Anchorage, where she teaches Introduction to American Government. Professor Stock is interested in issues of immigration, citizenship, national security, military affairs, and constitutional law. Professor Stock has frequently testified before Congress on issues relating to immigration and national security. She's authored numerous articles on immigration and citizenship topics and frequently speaks at public events on topics such as birthright citizenship, immigration and the U.S. military, and immigration and national security. Professor Stock is an Alaska attorney with a retired military officer. She recently transferred to the Retired Reserve of the U.S. Army Reserve after serving in the Military Peace Corps, U.S. Army Reserve, for 28 years. Professor Stock taught at the U.S. Military Academy, West Point, New York, from June 2001 until June 2010. In the fall of 2009, Professor Stock was a visiting fellow at the Board Policy Research Institute at Western Washington University. Professor Stock also recently concluded service as a member of the Council on Foreign Relations Independent Task Force on U.S. Immigration Policy. Professor Stock is currently a member of the American Bar Association Commission on Immigration. Awards that she has received are numerous. In 2010, she was a recipient of the Legion of Merit, Joint Service Commendation Medal, Meritus Service Medal, Outstanding Military Volunteer Medal. In 2008, she was a recipient of the American Immigration Lawyers Association Pro Bono Award. 2005, recipient of the American Immigration Lawyers Association Advocacy Award. In 2007 to the present, she has been Alaska's super lawyer. And 2005 to the present, a fellow American Bar Foundation, member of Phi Kappa Phi, and master teacher, U.S. Military Academy Master Teacher Program. Please help me in welcoming Margaret Stock. And finally with us today we have Maru Villalpando. Maru Villalpando is a bilingual statewide community organizer and trainer with more than 10 years experience primarily focusing on immigrant rights and racial justice issues. She was one of the lead organizers of the 10th Annual March for Immigrant Rights in Seattle, Washington, where thousands of people demonstrated their support for immigration reform. Mrs. Villalpando has been instrumental in grassroots organizing efforts ranging from national health care reform to meetings with local officials on the presence of ICE in Linwood Police Station. Ms. Villalpando has conducted numerous bilingual and monolingual trainings throughout the Puget Sound areas, ranging from basic community organizing 101, legal rights for undocumented workers, using local and national media outlets, and developing long-term organizing strategies for social change. In 2007, Ms. Villalpando organized the successful campaign in Snohomish County to ensure that interpretation for immigrants in 2 local hospitals was provided. Ms. Villalpando is a simultaneous interpreter for conferences and rallies, and translator for technical organizing communications, such as focus groups and newsletters. Currently, Ms. Villalpando is becoming a micro-entrepreneur by initiating a consulting business servicing non-governmental organizations. Some of her clients include Got Green, Latino Community Fund, Statewide Poverty Action Network, Central Washington Progress, Community to Community, and the University of Washington. Please help me welcome Maru Villalpando.